Individuals employed by the extremely affluent, what experiences or situations have you encountered? I used to bartend at a really nice beachside country club. People always tipped well and I was a pretty good conversationalist, so people liked me. One day a regular brings a friend from France. He speaks English well enough, but I couldn't converse as well as with other people. At the end of the day though, I poured the drinks, got him to laugh, and the regular tips normally through card. French guy makes a comment about how he's not too used to tipping, and leaves $300 on the table. I am shocked and say, "Sir, that's $300, and he looks up at me and says, "Is that not enough?" And looks so sad. The regular bursts out laughing and explains to him. He lets me keep the $300, telling me it's for being a good sport. God, I miss that job. Worked as one of 4 full-time groundskeepers at a large estate. 46 acres of lawn to mow twice a week, 2 clay tennis courts, 3 pools, 1 for the main house and 1 for each of the 2 guest houses. 100-acre private lake with boathouse. No clue how big the whole estate was, including the woods. Personal favorite was the 3-mile personal racetrack. But what really blew my mind was that he hosted his niece's wedding one summer. Paid $350K to have this massive willow tree trucked in and planted by the lake for wedding photos. Only to pay another $50K to have it removed and the landscaping returned to its original state after the wedding because he did not like the look of it. They got pissed off that I was making more money reselling their trash than they were paying me to do the actual job I was hired to do. Homie would entire server racks full of modern telecom equipment to the landfill because he didn't want to deal with storing them. For me, I set up a party for a family out in the Hamptons that bought the house next door just to level it and set up a giant temporary party tent on the plot. Wild shit. She could afford a legal staff, myself included, for a time to visit her in prison every day and work on her criminal case along with her many civil lawsuits. She ended up losing most of her money on the civil suits against her ex-husband. My company was doing a remodel project in a 10 million home. Amazing homeowners to work with and everything was great. The weird part was the team of armed security officers they hired the entire time we were there. There were about 10 guys holding AR-15s all around the house. These homeowners were not public figures or anything, they obviously had some serious valuables in the home. Had me and his other tenants have a Hunger Games to win the chance not to pay rent for a year, unknowingly entered me in a flirtatious prank war that ended with me falling out of his treehouse, made me think I was going to be the chef of a new jazz club only to learn later this was just a scam to get his little brother to lose interest in a property he wanted to flip. All I can say is business and marketing advice. The pay wasn't there, but it was the best experience. His advice is well-meaning, but he still doesn't grasp the disparity between his income and mine. Insisted the estate manager take a private boat ferry had stopped running for the night out to set the house thermostat at the right temperature. I fly private jets. The somewhat wealthy show up plain side in Bentleys or flashy supercars. The ultra-wealthy are often in a GMC, Toyota, or Volkswagen. The only high-end brands that seems somewhat prevalent for the folks in between are Range Rovers and the Mercedes G-Class. My old boss was very well off with old family money, had multiple houses, vacation house in the south of France, private jet, etc. I had to fly to a convention one time, and he upgraded me to first class on his personal account and said he did it for me so I could at least experience it once. To him it wasn't even couch cushion money, but to me it was a lot. Tell you what, I enjoyed the hell out of that trip. Worked for a one-owner business, very successful mostly because of mid-level talent. The owner was barely present, we had offices overseas and he would travel constantly. The problem was when he got an idea, no matter how screwy it was, he expected you to drop everything and look into it. None of his ideas were realistic money makers. Usually, after a few months, he would move on to a new nutty idea and, hopefully, lay it on someone else. I'm a contractor, and my client was a beautiful 50-year-old woman married to an 85-year-old supermillionaire. She has an 11-bedroom mansion in the Bay Area. She is stratospherically rich. The cheapest bitch I ever met. Went to court and dropped tens of thousands just to stiff a poor lady from paying her for her work. Getting paid for my work was a weekly battle on the phone. I saw her drop $4,500 on a psychic $8,000 at Osco on throw pillows, decorations and shit. Once I saw her sitting inside of one of her hotel rooms being decorated and she was petting the tile so elegant, she says. No idea how the other 99 lives. Extreme entitlement, glowlessness. They were willing to spend nearly $1 million on a wedding, but you would never see them tip more than 10 at a restaurant.